Well, hello, thank you for joining me today again on the Church History Trail. And we're continuing here in COMBER. And where we are is we're at the First Presbyterian Church of COMBER. And I'm going to show you a wee monument here, wee memorial. And it says erected 1866, and it's erected to the Reverend J. M. Killen, D.D., and he was the minister here, the pastor. And of course, he was the minister who was in charge here during the 1859 revival, the Great Revival, here in Ulster. And so it's fantastic to have that wee monument there. Absolutely brilliant. And of course, during the 1859 revival, as I say, the minister was Reverend Killen here, and many people actually in the church were reduced to tears on account of their sins, and some had to be removed actually after fainting. So fantastic times here in COMBER during the 1859 revival. But where we're heading now is, as you can see there, it says quiet room, which is the pre-worship. But what this actually used to be was the schoolhouse. And this was the schoolhouse of the 1840s. So Desi, the historian, is still with me. We're going to go in here and he's going to tell us a wee bit about that. Hello, Desi.
Hi, Mark.
How you doing? So we're actually in the schoolhouse here then?
Yes, that's right.
That is fantastic. I'll just give them a wee pan round here and let them see. So this is about 1840s then, Desi?
Right about the 1840s, exactly.
This is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a very small schoolhouse, I have to say.
Yeah, imagine a lot of pupils crammed in here all trying to learn their lessons.
Fantastic. And what do we have here then, Desi?
Right, well, this picture here is of a man called James Miller Killen.
Uh-huh.
He was the minister here from 1843 to 79, whenever he died. It was in his time here that we had the great religious revival.
Yes.
In Ireland in 1859.
Uh-huh.
And First COMBER was one place where it really did take off.
Mm-hmm.
The Reverend Killen himself has left us an account of what actually happened.
Oh, brilliant.
And I mean, we find stories of people being reduced to tears on account of their sins.
Brilliant.
Others fainting, stricken by the power of the Spirit.
Brilliant.
People just wanted to come to church, to pray, to read their Bibles. The pubs went through a bad time because it tells us that even drunkards were converted.
Brilliant.
So nobody wanted to drink. Unfortunately, there was one lady that it was all too much for, a lady called Elizabeth Munn.
Uh-huh.
She actually died during one of the revival meetings.
Huh.
And at the inquest afterwards, one of the jurors rather unkindly said to her that she had died of the visitation of God. So
Did they actually find out what happened to her? No?
I think it was some sort of a fit that she had.
Aye. Maybe epileptic or something.
Yeah.
So this is the man here then?
This is him.
That's
yes.
fantastic, Desi. Mm-hmm. And of course, the people the Lord was really moving back then, and people realised that, that they needed Christ. It was unbelievable. It was fantastic. That's what we need again today. There's no doubt about it. So, who's this man here then, Desi?
This is Isaac Nelson, who was a bit of a controversial figure in Presbyterian circles.
Uh-huh.
If I take you back to the year 1838, which was when Second COMBER congregation broke away from First COMBER.
Uh-huh.
And the the election of a minister come up here at First Comber. The Reverend John McCance had just died, or rather just resigned, and he was, the vote was in favour of this man, Isaac Nelson, to replace him. Some people weren't happy with that, and so that's when Second Comber broke away.
Oh, is that so? They actually were that congregation then was connected here before that.
At one time, yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Not only that, but the non-subscribing church as well was connected
Yes.
here. They broke away the year before in 1837.
Yes. So there you are. And did you say he became a politician or something, Daisy?
Later on, he ended up, he didn't stay long at First Comber. In 1843, went off to Donegal Street Presbyterian Church in Belfast. But later on in his life, I believe he became a nationalist politician.
Is that right?
For County Mayo. And we were talking about the revival in 1859. He called it the year of delusion. So
he wasn't happy with it?
He wasn't happy with it at all.
There you are. I'll give you another wee look at him. And then who's this man here then, Daisy?
This is the Reverend Brown, who was the minister from 1957 until sometime in the 1980s. I can remember him from
Is that right?
being about, yeah.
Very good. And then we've more over here then, Daisy. What's this big picture here then?
This is a commemoration of the union of the Synod of Ulster and the Secession Synod. They united in 1840 to form the General Assembly of the Presbyterian Church, and this commemorates the Golden Jubilee in 1890. And round it we can see some of the ministers and churches that were involved.
Yes.
For instance, Henry Cook, who was one of the leading lights in the Presbyterian Church. He was Killen Presbyterian, yeah.
He was also a politician, wasn't he?
Yeah, as far as I know, he probably would have been. John Rogers, he was an interesting character as well. He was the minister of the minister who Second Comber chose as their first minister, and he was very important as an advocate of tenant right.
Oh, is that right?
He later became moderator for 2 years.
Yes.
1863-64. Rosemary Street Presbyterian Church, where the union was consummated, 10th of July 1840.
I've actually done a wee video on Rosemary Street Presbyterian.
Yeah.
That's where Willie Drennan was born, the founder of the United Irishmen.
That's right.
His dad was actually the minister there, wasn't
he? Yeah. Now his daughter, his son was William Drennan, the United Irishman.
Yes.
And his daughter was Sarah Drennan, who married John Andrews, who founded the spinning mill here in Comber.
Is that right?
Yeah.
My goodness, it's a small world, Daisy.
It is,
isn't
indeed.
it?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. I'll give the viewers a wee view of that. That's brilliant. And then what is this? What's the writing there, Daisy?
The writing's telling us that just says on Friday the 10th of July 1840, the synods proceeded from their respective places of meeting. The Synod of Ulster from May Street Church, the Secession Synod from Linen Hall Street Church, And mingling in one body at Cornmarket, their moderators, the Reverend James Elder of Finvoy and the Reverend John Rogers Glascar leading the way, they entered the Presbyterian Church, Rosemary Street, Belfast. And then it goes on to describe what all happened.
And so who's this man here then, Desi?
This is the Reverend McCain, who was the minister at First Comber from 1916 up to 1957.
So he was during the war period then?
He would have been. And he became moderator of the General Assembly in 1952. And this photograph is from that time.
Oh, in 1952,
Yeah.
yes, that's very good.
It was also at that time that he dedicated the Memorial Gardens in the centre of Comber Square. He was the moderator at that time.
Yes. And what's this here then, Desi?
Again, we're going back to the time of the Reverend Killen.
Oh, the revival.
This actually dates from, I think, 10 years after the revival, 1869. But there was some sort of a presentation was made to him on that occasion, just as a mark of respect and to show appreciation of the work that he had done at the church.
And is there anything else then you want to show us? Oh, there's the back of there's a couple of
Yes, well, if you want
furniture,
to
isn't there? Yes, that'll do. What have we got here then, Desi? My goodness, look at this.
Again,
My goodness.
this table dates from April 1917. You can see the plaque on it there.
Yeah, see that?
And the church
April
is-
1917.
The chair's quite elaborate, as you can see.
So this table's actually from 1917. That is incredible, Desi.
Yeah.
This table goes back to the time of the First World War.
That's right.
Some people don't see dates are great, but you see when you can put events,
I know.
it lets people actually see just how old the stuff is. You know,
It's 106 years ago.
that's fantastic, Desi. This is a piece of history that we have here.
I know.
And then the chair, my goodness, look at the chair.
Yeah.
That's like something the king would sit on.
Yeah.
That's incredible. And then all the trophies. That's the trophy. They must have won a lot of trophies here.
I don't know what those all are for now.
Well, one's for football, I can see. Well, that's incredible, Desi. And again, I'd like to thank you for your tour today. And I would also like to thank the First Comber Presbyterian Church. And also, I would like to thank St Mary's Church because we have done a few videos down in St Mary's as well. But thanks very much, Desi. And I've really enjoyed today, and you've given the viewers some great information, so that is fantastic. And you have a website. Can you tell the viewers how they can check? If you want to check out Desi's history, you can check it on the website. Could you tell them how they get that, Desi?
Well, if you just Google it and put in Comber history, you should get it. But it's www.cumberhistory.com.
And it's the Comber Historical Society.
Yeah.
That's great, Desi. So again, I'll give you a wee view of what used to be the old schoolroom of the 1840s. Fantastic, isn't it? So again, if you enjoy the channel, please like and subscribe. God bless.